So the Rani is back in Doctor Who, taking up 1/3 of the Unholy Trinity. We know that Conrad takes up the second third, but who is the final member? Well, I've gathered some ideas of who it could possibly be, so let's hop in. But before all that, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. It means the absolute world. If you want to leave a super thanks in the comments, you get a shout out in the next video, or you can become a channel member, blah 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 blah. All up to you. Let's crack on. Theory number one is Missy. You know, Michelle Gomez, she was at the premiere. There's lots of talk about whether or not Missy's coming back, blah 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 blah. The big theory is that the Master's Tooth we know from the toy maker was sat on the unit tower, and apparently the theory is Mrs. Flood's fingers picked up that tooth and have resurrected Missy, the Master, in a pre-Series 10 battle with the Doctor, you know, and I feel like that could work very well, because obviously Series 10 is very much Missy becoming good, and if we don't undo that by making it like a present day Missy, if it's a Missy from before Series 10, maybe even before Series 8, I'm not sure how Michelle Gomez has aged, but from what I've seen of her, she looks like, you know, she hasn't aged like that much in the 11 years. I'm just hoping that if this happens, it is a pre-Series 10 Missy, so her ending doesn't get messed up, because her ending was perfect. But yep, the fingers is undeniable. The fingers did pick up the tooth. They picked him up. I'm really hoping this isn't for now. In my personal opinion, I hope that the Master storyline is for next series or the series after, because I like when Russell leaves us hanging a little bit, because if this series ends and we know everything, I'm gonna feel a bit like cool, and like I know everything now, and then when the next series comes, I've got to get invested in a whole new bunch of stuff, like he did with this series. You know, we didn't find out who Mrs. Flood was in the Empire of Death. We didn't find out who the Meep's boss is yet. That's all still to come, and that keeps me more excited to come back and keep watching the show. But moving on to the next theory, and one that I hope is true. If I could pick any, this is what I'd pick. Obviously, it's the Trickster. If you're new around here, I love the Trickster. He's my favourite villain in all of the Whoniverse, and I want nothing more than him to be back on my screen in the actual show this time. I think it would just be brilliant. I've got a whole video on the channel explaining how I think the Trickster's coming back. This includes stuff, you know, like Ruby singing his theme song in The Devil's Chord, which someone actually said isn't his theme, it's the Box's theme, but still associated, still counts in my head. Also, the fact that the Battle of Bannerman Road was never made, and Ruby keeps saying her dad is a long story. So, you know, they could be redoing the Battle of Bannerman Road. You know, Ruby's the Trickster's daughter, etc. Wish World, the Trickster grants wishes. The Reality War, the Trickster often shatters reality with his with his granting the wishes and changing the world. And some new evidence for this, the synopsis for the Reality War has just been released, and it says that Ruby is trapped. We know Trickster is the god of traps, so it's adding up. The more the weeks go on, I'm really so split on this. It's like Ncuti's regeneration. I can't tell if actually Ncuti is going to go or if he's going to stay. Very similar to this. Like, I was confident the Trickster would be back last series. I was confident at the start of this series. Now I'm not so sure how he sort of ties into the whole Mrs. Flood Rani thing, and yeah, maybe he granted the wishes in Wishwell, but I don't know. And also 160 years away, Russell says that the new member of the Unholy Trinity is a Pantheon of God member from 160 years in the future, or past. It just says 160 years away. Why is the Trickster there? That's not really ever a given to us, you know. Anyway, the next theory is Kid from the Interstellar Song Contest. You know, we know Kid is back. Kid, well, we don't know, but Kid said, "Doctor, I'll be back one day." So, you know, he could be joining the trilogy to get revenge on the Doctor for the Iron Fist, not Iron Fist, what was it called? The Hololight, hard light hologram glove thing, the Michael Jackson glove that the Doctor had in the Interstellar Song Contest and was just beating Kit with. Also, he's a Hellion, and there's the Poppy Honey from Hellion. Poppy Honey could tie into Poppy Honey, the space baby, which we'll get onto in a minute, but that's just something to watch out for, in my opinion. Next up, Omega. I'm going to count Rassilon and the other in this as well, just count them as a 3. If you don't know, you're not caught up on your Gallifreyan history, the 3 founding fathers of Gallifrey are Rassilon, who we've seen in The End of Time, Hellbent, etc. Omega, who you might know if you've seen the classic series, who's speculated to maybe be coming back, not too sure. And the other, who we don't know too much about, who I actually personally thought Mrs. Flood will end up being. My only thing for this is Russell said that the new member of the Trinity is a Pantheon member, and I don't think that Rassilon would be a Pantheon member because he doesn't really do much. The other, again, we don't know much about, so could be, but it would be a lot of info to dump on us. And Omega isn't actually part of the Pantheon, but then again, neither was Sutek, so there could be just some hurdy-wordy-dirty there, like, oh, because of what you did to me, Doctor, I'm now a Pantheon god member. Maybe. Mentioned a few minutes ago, but Captain Poppy from Space Babies, this is just, I don't think this will happen, but it's a theory nonetheless. Captain Poppy returned in the story in the engine for a brief little cameo where she was like pointing to show Belinda where the barbershop is. Could she be a Pantheon member? No, it's just another name to throw out. There's not much. I mean, maybe she wants revenge on the Doctor for some reason, or maybe Captain Poppy is Susan. That's a theory that I've got at the minute that's going around the internet that I will probably post a video on tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Susan might be Captain Poppy. And speaking of Susan, could Susan be the third member of the Unholy Trinity? I doubt it, because Susan was helping the Doctor in the Interstellar Song Contest. I also don't think they'd bring Susan back after 61 years or whatever and then make her evil. I don't think that'd happen. Hopefully Susan is back and it wasn't just a one-off appearance, but like I say, I'll be touching on all of that in a video, hopefully coming tomorrow, unless some big news drops today, which I'll cover instead. I just hope they don't make Susan evil, and I hope that's not it for Susan. What are your theories for the Unholy Trinity? Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think it's going to be? Good, bad, evil? Is it the Doctor themselves? Who knows? Leave them below in the comments, please. And like I say, if you want to leave a super thanks with your comment, it's about £2. You can leave a little message and it will give me some money. You'll get a shout out in the next video. It's up to you. Or you can join the channel as a member. There's nothing going on there at the minute, but you know, you can do it anyway if you want. Subscribe, like. But for now, I've been Sam, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye. Q Duggadoo.